This computer. You guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Let me know in the chat box if you guys can see my screen. Right. Amazing. Cool. Right. Let's put this here. We can get started on today's call. Right. Monday mindset. Okay. Now, as I said, guys, if anyone on this call, if you ever want to get rich, which I'm sure a lot of you want to do, um, you have to understand how people get rich and how people think. Because success leaves clues. Like I said, I've been doing this for 6 years. I've been mentored from people that make 2 million a month, which some people can even fathom. But the industry I'm in, the industry you guys are in, is pretty common for people to get to the seven figure a month benchmark. And it's something that I've been learning from people. And it's the way they think. It's not the strategy, it's not the industry, it's not the system. System does help, but it's the way that you think. This keeps people broke. This keeps people in certain cycles that they get to a point where they're sick and tired. And for so many years, I got to a point where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So much so, I had to stop listening to myself. And I only started to listen to people that had the advice that I wanted. So if I want to improve in a certain area in my life, finances, my physique, my whatever it may be, find someone that has the results and do exactly what it is they've done. And one thing that I've realized with successful people that I've studied is they have a winning mentality. Because on this call right now, I don't know some of you guys personally, so I'm not calling anyone. You can decide which bracket you fall into. But there are winners on this call, and there are also losers on this call. Okay? Or by the end of this call, you'll be able to find out which one you are, and you need to make sure, being a part of this organization, you need to become a winner. And I never used to be a winner. I'll be honest with you. The way I used to think like a loser. And a lot of people in today's day and age, they think like losers, right? Because if everyone's losing, then there's less people winning. So what some people do, or what some classes do, is they feel like losing is a win, but it's not. Okay. So if you are a winner on this call, these are things that you might say, and there's things that a loser might say. And you guys would kind of work out which category you fall into, all right? So a winner makes mistakes, right? A loser wouldn't even try, number one, right? So a winner makes mistakes and says, I was wrong. Okay. Now, what a loser would say is it wasn't my fault. All right. And I was famously told most people like to point the finger, not realizing three fingers are actually pointing back at you. Now, what can I compare this to? Right? A trade gets sent out, right? We all know we should be using the right lot size. We all know we should be sticking to risk management. We all know we should be having a daily target. But you decided to over leverage. You decided to blame your little sister or your little brother took your phone and blew your account. No, it was your fault why you blew your account. That's how a loser thinks. A loser likes to blame. We send out trades, guys. We put you in a system where we try to help you make money, right? We try to help you make money. And the audacity is that some people will point the finger and say, no, this trade blew my account. You blew my account. No, you press buy and you press sell and you over leverage. It's your fault. So a winner ultimately takes accountability. So on this call, you guys need to ask yourself, everything that's happening in your life right now, you need to take accountability for it. The wins, the losses, the mistakes, the blown accounts, people saying no, your past, your future, your present, it is all your fault. Okay? A winner works harder than a loser and has more time. A loser is too busy staying a failure. All right. I speak to so many people and they act like we have an extra 10 hours a day. We all have 24 hours in one day. No one has more time than other people, right? And a lot of people say they're busy. There's two types of busy. You're either productive or you're busy. If you're busy working a job, you're not busy. You're wasting your time. If you're productive and you're working on your business to get you out of your job, that's a winner. Okay? I speak to some people and I say, hey, did you take any trades today? No, I was busy. Can anyone tell me in the chat box, how long does it take for you to copy and paste a trade? How long does it take for you to take a trade, guys? 30 seconds. How on earth do you not have no time to jump on a call or to take a trade? And I always pull up people and it gets awkward because they say they're too busy. And I say, okay, can you do me a favor? Can you go onto your phone and can you let me know your screen time? Now it's awkward. Now it's techie because you've been on TikTok for 3 hours. You've been on Instagram for 2 and you've been on Snapchat for 1. But all of a sudden you don't have time to work the business, to get out your job. Okay? A winner goes through a problem and a loser goes around it. The reason why people quit this business, guys, and if you ever do quit this business, please know that you have a losing mindset. Because the reason if you win in this business will be because of you, and if you lose in this business will be because of you. And the reason why I have, and to tell a lie, like I said, I did have a losing mindset. In 2022, I quit the business. I quit the business in 2022 for various reasons. Of course, I got back in. However, I faced a problem, and instead of facing the problem, I quit. But the problem kept on reoccurring in other stages in my life. So if you quit this business, don't think that that problem won't occur elsewhere in another business. It might occur in your relationship. For those that are building the business, if you feel like people are not joining your business or you don't have good relationships with people, please don't believe that when you get in a relationship that a problem won't occur. Or when it comes to your kids, you may not have the best relationship with your kids. This business will solve that problem. Network marketing it exposes people's flaws. And that's why I love the business, because if you don't face it now, you're going to face it later at a time with something more important, like your family. Okay? A winner shows he's sorry by making up for it. If I've ever done something wrong, I will try to make up with it. We are not perfect. There's only one perfect being, right? We are not perfect. A loser says he's sorry, but does it again. Okay? A winner knows what to fight for and what to compromise on. I'm sorry, guys, with success, you're going to have to compromise something. If you guys want something, you have to give up. So many people want to go up without giving up. God knows how much I've given up to get to my position today. And some of us don't want to give up certain things, but you want everything. It doesn't work like that. Every day is a battle for life, and it's very important that we are fighting for the right things and not wasting our time. Okay? A winner says, I'm good, but not as good as I ought to be, as in I can only get worse. Some of you may have seen that I've started boxing recently just to get into the discipline mindset, right? And I posted a video of my first boxing session. And I said, this is the worst you lot are going to ever see me. That's someone that knows they're going to win. So when some people launch this business and they're like, oh, I don't want to post on social media, I don't want to speak to people, you already believe you're going to lose. That's why you haven't told no one about this business. You ain't told no one about this business because you believe that you're going to lose. I told everyone about this business because I knew I was going to win. Right? A winner looks up to where he is going. I don't care about my past. And anyone that's been here for longer than 3 months, I don't want you to answer this, okay? Anyone that's been here longer than 3 months, I don't want you to answer this. Am I not on disturb? Sorry about this, guys. What comes first, guys? The past, the future, or the present? Can anyone tell me in the chat? If you've been longer than 3 months in this business, do not answer. Do not ruin it. Everyone else that's been here less than 3 months, in what order does it go? Past, present, future. What order does it go? What comes first? This is where a lot of people go wrong. It goes future. We said earlier today, we spoke about the future. We said we're going to have this call, right? We spoke the future. We said we're going to have this call. We're now on this call today. We are now in the present, and in an hour's time, this call will be in the past. The reason why most people stay stuck in their situation is because you're always talking about what you did or what happened. You're talking about the past, so you just you're creating your past. You have to be so deluded that you genuinely create your future. You create something that doesn't exist, and then eventually work towards it for it to happen. There's a reason why your front screen is bigger than the screen that you see behind when you're driving. Your ring mirror, right? Because your future is way more bigger than your past, but most people don't think like that. A loser looks down at those who have not achieved the position he has. I don't look down on anyone on this call. I am not better than anyone on this call. I just took advantage of the opportunity before you did, and I stayed consistent long enough than you did. That's the only difference between me and you. I knew about this before you, and as soon as I knew about it, I was so consistent that you couldn't even catch up because of the time that I put in. Right? A winner respects those who are superior to him and tries to learn from them. I'm making the most money I ever have in my life, and I'm the most coachable in my life. Some of us make a bit of money on trading. We hit our first couple ranks in business. All of a sudden, you don't want to listen to your mentor and your upline. Your coachability index has now gone down. You eventually will lose your income, guys. And you then realize, okay, I do need a mentor. A loser resents those who are superior to him and tries to find their fault. Okay? A winner is responsible for more than his job. A loser says, I only work here. A winner says there ought to be a better way of doing it. A loser says, why change it? That's the way it's always done. How many of you guys on this call say to yourself, I never used to do that, that's not me. Or I never used to go to events, so that's not me. Or I never used to speak to people, that's not me. That's a loser. A winner will find a way. I was always told, think outside the box. Don't even think there is a box. How about that? There is no box. People said, think outside the box. There is no box. All right? Now, employer versus entrepreneur. A lot of us, we came into this, I'm talking to myself, we came into this business with an employee mindset. An employer has built a mindset. If you've been working a job, I never could last at a job longer than a year. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, right? But if you lasted at a job for a while, unfortunately, you have adopted an employee mindset. An employer is part of a larger team. An entrepreneur, you are the team. So when I tell you guys to put on your camera, it's not for anyone else other than yourself. Please understand that. Right? So when it comes to goals, most employees don't have a goal. I say to people, what's your financial goals this year? I don't know. Well, this is why you're not going anywhere. Imagine playing football and there was no goalposts. That's what some people do with life. You go year after year after year after year after year. We're 4 months into the year and you haven't achieved, you haven't even written, you don't know your goals, you haven't written them down, you haven't spoken to them existent, you're not working on them. So you haven't got any year closer. Same year, same me. How many of you guys said that this year, 2026 is my year? Right? This is my year, new me. What's changed? Right? So an employee, your goals are what the company and CEO decides and wants to achieve. As an entrepreneur, I am not a trader. I am not a network marketer. I'm an entrepreneur. If you know how to cook on this call, you're not a chef. If you know how to ride a bike, you are not a cyclist. So because I know how to trade, it doesn't mean I'm a trader. I'm an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurs think a certain way. Okay? So as an entrepreneur, your goals are set by you, and you strive for growth and development. What's more important, guys, please understand this. I didn't understand this when I was broke and not making money. I didn't want to believe it. The level of income that you have today is exactly in line with the person you are today. Please write that down. Your income is attached to the person that you are. So the person you are today is attached to the income you have today. I am not the same person I was when I was making £1,000 a month, £2,000 a month, £3,000 a month. It's impossible for you guys to earn 5, 10, 15, 20, 30K a month and stay the same person. It's impossible. And for anyone that is trying to change and you have been doing things that are different and you are trying new things, if people that knew you are coming to you and they're saying, who do you think you are? You're about to make a lot of money very, very soon. If your friends and family saying, I don't know, or you hear it, they won't, it's very rare people come and say it to you. You got to have some kahunas to do that, right? But you might have the friend that say, you know what, you've changed. Or who do you think you are? Most people will say it behind your back. They won't say it to your face, right? But they might say it behind your back. But if someone's saying to you right now, who do you think you are? You're about to make a lot of money. Okay? Because misery loves company. People don't like to grow. People don't like being uncomfortable. So if I can try and tear you down, if I can try and talk bad about what it is you're doing, then you're not going to grow and you're not going to elevate. So you're going to stay with me and now we're all comfortable being broke. Right? Your actions, employee, your actions are directed by your manager. I am not anyone's manager. I hated a manager and I'm not anyone's manager. As an entrepreneur, your actions are self-directed and self-prioritized. You don't get told to do by anyone. We give you advice, we give you recommendations. If you don't do it, you will just have to learn the hard way. If you can't hear, you must feel, right? That was something that I knew growing up, and I still had to touch the. My nan said, "Don't touch the pot." I touched the pot. I burnt my hand. Good. Don't over leverage. You're going over leverage. You lost your money. Good. You don't come to events. You then quit your business. Back to your job. Good. As an entrepreneur, you have to make your own decisions, right? Roles, an employee, your role as a specialist, for example, as a receptionist, all right? So you have a specific role that you want to get good at. As an entrepreneur, you wear different hats and have different roles to learn. So this is one for the leaders on this call. If anyone didn't know already, I wear the hat of a educator, I wear the hat of a mentor, I wear the hat of a bloody therapist, I wear the hat of a emotional coach. Every single hat I have to put on. I'm just preparing you guys for what it is you're walking into. Okay? Support as an employee, you have everything done for you. You have the social support, whatever it may be. As an entrepreneur, there is much less support, and that is why we have the business, guys. This is why we do these calls, because I'm telling you now, not many people can do this journey by yourself. So for those that don't want to come to the office and you don't interact in the group chat, you're gonna struggle. You're not gonna get what you come for. You've all come to make money. You're not gonna make money if you're just not speaking in the groups and you ain't putting on your camera and you're not coming to events. You're not coming to the office. You're wasting your time, guys. Genuinely, you're wasting your time. Okay? Impact as an employee, your impact is low, and you're a small part of a much bigger movement. When I was working at Tesco, regardless of how well I did my job that day, it doesn't impact Tesco. As an entrepreneur, your impact is endless. There's no cap, and that's down to your belief levels. My belief level is I want to max out the compensation plan. For anyone that don't know what that means, that's 500,000 a month. That's my goal. But I can't do that alone. So I need people that also believe like me. So I need people doing what I'm doing. So if we're going to Portugal next week and anyone that does come, that's now an indication that you want to believe how I believe. Okay? Development. As an employee, your personal growth is more linear, as in promotions up the corporate ladder. Okay? As an entrepreneur, your personal growth is non-linear and more of a learning method. That one's so important. As an employee, your personal growth is more linear. As in promotions, the corporate ladder, there is no ladder. It's not even a ladder, right? But as an entrepreneur, your personal growth is non-linear and more of a learning method. If you join this business, we join this business to make money. But if you are focused on money, you won't make money. Please write that down. You've joined this business to make money. But if you focus on money, you will not make a penny. I'm giving you advice because when I came into this business, I had to lose £30,000 to realize, Josh, you're just chasing the money. You're chasing the trades. You're chasing people. What you need to do is you need to develop your version of yourself. You need to learn skills of how to speak to people, emotional intelligence, patience, discipline, consistency. And as you get better, so does your income. This is what they won't show you online. Online, they'll show you the Lamborghinis and the watches and etc. But this is the work that you need to sit down and do by yourself. And I'm just speaking to really and truly, what I'm telling you to do is if you want to make 10K a month. If you don't want to make 10K a month, don't listen to me. You don't need to take notes. Just keep looking at my face. If you want to make 10K or more a month, I'm telling you what it takes. I hit my first six-figure business over 10K a month mid 2023, the end of 2023. Okay? Risk. As an employee, you take no risks. And even if you do, you're only risking your job. I never quit my job. I just blocked my manager and didn't go back. That was the risk I took to make sure this happened. Your company is actually at risk by employing you. So you're not actually at risk. So many people are so scared of their job and so scared of losing their job. No, your business, your job is actually scared of losing, like you're more of a risk to the business. As an entrepreneur, there is a lot more risk and you are exposed to more. Okay? As an employee, your hours are given to you as your time is mapped. As an entrepreneur, you have irregular timing and have to put in a lot more hours due to the task at hand. As an entrepreneur, guys, write this down. Do more for what you're paid for, and eventually you'll get paid for more of what you do. I could sit on my ass the whole month and still make a salary. It was never like this. I used to put 12-hour shifts into work in the business when I wasn't getting paid 12-hour shifts. I had to work, but I couldn't look at the time. Now I own my time. When I was working, I was always trying to look at the time. When do I finish? Oh, an hour left. I used to count down the minutes. I don't know if anyone can relate, but boy, the moment I got in, I just looked at the clock every other hour. How long have I got? How long have I got? How long have I got? Cool, get out. I was the last one in my work and the first one out my work. And I'm only speaking to be, drop a 2 in the chat if you love your job. If you love your job, just drop a 2, please. Ah, and if you think you do, would you go to work for free? And if you wouldn't, you don't love your job. So let's get you out of your job. All right? You're working your job for an income. So let's get out of the job. All right? Cut long story short. Use it as fuel. All right? Cool. Self-confidence and image. The skill of self-confidence. When you lose sight of belief in yourself, you will struggle throughout life. But this can be trained. Okay? It's a skill. So being self-confident, no one's born confident. You might have people that are extroverted and introverted. I'm actually introverted, right? But I have self-confidence, and that's not arrogance. People get that confused. Arrogance is I'm better than you. I'm better than no one on this call. But self-confident, I'm more self-confident than most people on this call. And what self-confidence means is that I could lose everything tomorrow, which I have done. I've lost everything, and I've still got it all back multiple times. So let's relate it to trading because most of you may be customers. If you blow your account, are you still confident that you can get rich? Or all of a sudden now you're thinking of an exit plan and going back to your job? And if that's the case, how you think, you're at a bad position because now the money makes you. You don't make the money. If you get to that stage where money makes you, when you lose money, you're going to lose yourself. And that's why you got celebrities and music artists that as soon as they're not doing well, they turn to drugs. All of these athletes, the footballers, the boxers, they've made money. Now they lose money. Now all of a sudden, they're in rehab. The easiest way to build self-confidence is simply by repetition. The more you do something, the more confident you will get at it. The problem with repetition is our mindset behind it as we accept failure. There is no way for you to win, guys. People they put winning or succeeding and they put failure. It's actually on the same side. What you do is you have winning and quitting. So you got quitters and you got winners. Failure is in the category of winning. You have to fail. There is no one that I've ever met that has failed that has not made created success. The reason why I'm in this position is I've just failed more than you. I've blown more accounts, I've lost more money, I've had more no's, I've had more people laughing at me, I've had more embarrassment, I've had just more failures than you. That's the only difference. No one is persistent enough doing the right things. We are persistent at the wrong things. Every single one of you on this call, you're consistent. Like your consistency is 10 out of 10, but you're consistently doing the wrong things. Like no
Oh,
one
do you not?
lacks consistency on this call, right? No one lacks consistency. You're all consistent. Imagine that. You actually have consistency. Like consistency is so hard to get. Everyone on this call, you're consistent. You're just consistently doing the wrong things. You're consistently waking up late. You're consistently scrolling every day. You're consistently not around the right people. You're consistently not being disciplined. You're consistently not going to the gym. None of this requires money. So if you're on this call and you're broke, it's a good scenario to be in because you don't need money to make money in this business. This is why I love this business, and this is why I'll always do this business because there's an equal playing field to someone that has no money. They got no degree, they got no education, they got a criminal record, they used to be a drug addict, they used to be homeless. You can be in any scenario and make money in this business. It's an equal playing field. It's an opportunity for everyone. Where I come from, I beat the odds. The opportunity for me to do what I'm doing today was minus. It was minus. But I can meet someone today, show them what it is I've done, and they can go from zero income, nobody, to now a superstar. Right? Mirror work. This is something that I used to do. I'll be lying if I said I do it now. I probably need to go back to it, but I built enough foundation. I've done it long enough where I built a solid foundation. Some of you not on this call, you couldn't look at yourself in the mirror. I'm talking dead eye in the mirror. Look into your soul. Some of you lot can't look at yourself in the mirror. If you get the chance to and you get to that progression, make sure you talk to yourself well. When I was at my mum's house, she thought I was a madman. I'm just there talking to myself. But you're doing it anyway, you just do it negatively. But mirror work, self-confidence, look at yourself in the mirror, talk to yourself. Imagine how you're going to be in the future. Some of you can't do it. Don't accept no, right? Well, now when I speak to people about the business, I dare you to say no. I dare you to try and say no to me changing your life, especially if you believe what you're doing in your future. If currently right now you're not in a good scenario, that's fine. Where are you going to be 3 to 5 years? If you're thinking about this business, if you're in this on this call today and you are not thinking at least 3 years from now of where you want to be, this probably isn't going to work out well for you. 18 months to 3 years. Like I said, I'm talking to people that want to make at least 10K a month because that's the barrier now. That's the limit. Everyone on this call, 10K a month, especially if you live in the UK, you're just about you're living a decent life at 10K a month. That's the bare minimum I want everyone to be making. So if you've been working X amount of years and you've lived X amount of years and you haven't made 10K a month, why do you think you can expect it in less than 3 years or less than 18 months? I'd say 18 months with the system we have, with the mentorship we have, with the leadership we have, 18 months is the bare minimum we should be looking at. So if you've been working a job for more than 18 months and you haven't made 10K a month, why would you not give something that could make you 10K a month, at least 10K a month? And you was working something that was at 18 months and it couldn't even get you 10K a month, even if you begged. Even if you begged and tried, you couldn't even make 10K a month. I'm sure you guys have heard of J.K. Rowling, right? The author of Harry Potter. They had 13 publishers said no before they got the deal, right? F comes before S in the alphabet for a reason. Failure comes before success. It's just inevitable. You have to fail. Show me your failures, I'll show you where you might be. Some of you don't want to fail. You're decreasing the chance of being successful. When you were in school and a teacher asked someone to speak, was you the person that didn't raise your hand? I was the person, I didn't always raise my hand because I didn't want to be laughed at. I didn't want to be the clown. I didn't want to get it wrong. This is all part of the system, guys. I don't know if you guys ever do your research. Find out how the schooling system was actually built. It was built after the World War II when they needed people to build factories, they needed workers. And it's not a coincidence that when your parents used to drop you off, it was the perfect time for them to go to work. So they drop you off to school, they go to work. By the time they finish work, they pick you up. Do you think that's a coincidence? No. The schooling system is built for you to be an employee. Stay away from people who tear you down. Be around people who uplift you. If you're around me, I will brainwash you into believing that you can make 100 grand a month and you'll go to do it. Or at least change in your life some sort of way. If you're going to people and you're talking to them about, oh, you started trading, you started this business, and they are negative, I beg you, please stay away from those people. I don't care if it's your mom or your dad. I had to dodge my mom and my dad. How about that? I was the first one out the house and I was the last one in the house. Because if you don't have the financial results that I want, I was speaking to people and you're making 30 grand a month, 20K, sorry, 30 grand a year, 20K a year, 40K a year. If my goal is to make 30 grand a month, you can't tell me about what I'm doing financially. You are not qualified. And some of you are listening to people that are not financially qualified. Okay? No one will believe in you unless you do. And no one will big you up unless you do. I believe, let me change that actually. I believe in every single one of you. I believe in you. Please understand this. I believe in you. But because of your actions, it's hard to believe you. I'm going to say that again. I believe in every single one of you on this call. But because of your actions, it's hard to believe you. So when you say you want this, you want to change your life, you want to retire your mom and dad, you want to help your kids, you want to do this, you want to do that, I believe in you. I genuinely, like, I believe you can do it because I know myself. I know myself. I got the most flaws on this call, right? Some of you are way more qualified than me. Some of you are way more skilled than me. Some of you are way more intelligent than me, right? But I just don't believe the words that come out of your mouth because your actions don't back it. Okay? Emotions that will change your life. Please write this down for those that are you guys still with me? Let me know in the chat box if you guys are still with me. Drop a one if you lot are still with me. Hopefully you guys are getting some sort of value. Like I said, this call may not be for everyone. If I can impact one person on this call, I can go to bed tonight. Right? Some people might say, oh, whatever it is, I just need to help. I just need to help one person on this call. Boom, I'm good. Right? So these are four things that will change your life, guys. Four emotions. We're emotional beings. We act off emotions. We everything is off emotions, right? Thoughts, emotions, actions, results. Tier. I learned this first when I first started entrepreneurship, right? Your thoughts control your emotions control your actions, and your actions control your results. So let's back test. If you're not happy with your results, it's because you have been doing the wrong actions because you was not emotionally intelligent enough because of your thoughts. Okay? So your emotions control your life. If you control your emotions, you control your life. If you control your emotions, you don't blow your account. If you control your emotions, you build the business. If you don't control your emotions, you're finished. And ladies, I'm sorry to put it to you, you are more emotional creatures than men. Men, we're our own problem. We're already messed up. But ladies, we love you, beautiful humans, but you are a lot more emotional than men. Okay? So these are the four emotions that you need to change your life. Okay? So hopefully you guys are at some sort of stage. And if you're not, you soon will. You can't avoid it. At some point, this will happen, guys. Okay? So at one stage, you're going to be disgusted. You're going to be disgusted with your bank account. You're going to be disgusted with your car. You're going to be disgusted with the way you live. You're going to be disgusted with the fact that you can't buy your kids presents. You're going to be disgusted that you can't travel on holiday. You're going to get to a point where enough is enough. I've had enough. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I got to that stage in 2019. I woke up for a shift at 5 o'clock at Tesco. It was pitch black. I think I went out the night before as well, so it was even worse. I had a headache. I'm feeling sick. I woke up for my shift. I sat at the end of my bed and I said to myself, nah, I can't, I can't. I just can't keep doing this. Like, I'm actually sick and tired. I'm actually pissed. You have to get mad. You actually have to get pissed off until you're disgusted with the fact that they paid me £12 an hour, guys. That's 2p a minute. That's disgusting. They paid me 2p a minute. Until you get disgusted where enough is enough, then this business will be easy. But some of us are not there yet. But I promise you, if it's not hard now in your life today, it will get easier. So if it's hard right now, as in like you're sacrificing, you're waking up early, you're doing what you need to be doing, your life will get easier. If your life is easy now, like it's easy to work a job respectfully, guys, right? We wake up at 9, we go to get a job, come back. We go. The only reason why it's draining is because you're not spiritually growing. It's not the job itself. It's because you're spiritually not growing as a being. So it's draining, it's tired. You're not actually tired, right? Until you get to that stage where you realize, okay, if my life's easy, it's pretty easy right now. I had one person that didn't want to sign up, and we don't judge. Like, my mum's been in this scenario before, but she said, you know what? I got 3 kids, I'm on benefits, I'm okay. It's fine. It's fine. Live your life. That's fine, right? But at some stage when your kids get older, life will get hard. So if you can make your hard life now, your life hard right now, eventually it will get easier. Okay? The second emotion is you need to decide. Now, the word decide, pesticide, homicide, suicide, genocide, it means kill. You need to kill off. What that means is you need to kill off every alternative. I'm going to kill off, don't kill off your friends, right? We ain't got to kill no brethrens, right? Don't kill your friends, right? But you got to kill off anyone that isn't pouring into me. You got to kill off any bad negativity. You got to kill off listening to drill music. The little Rugrats listen to drill music. You got to stop listening to drill music. Ladies, you got to stop listening to I don't know, what's an emotional song? Or get out your feelings, right? You got to kill that off. You need to have an inner civil war. So what that means is you're getting on the ship. Right now, you guys are on the House of Riches ship. One day we'll have yachts, right? And you're traveling to an island. And then what I'm going to do when you guys jump off at the island is I'm going to burn the ship. And now we have to make it out. That's what I did. I said, this is plan A to plan Z. I don't have a plan B. You have to make a decision. This is me for the next 3 to 5 years. I had so much pressure from my friends and family saying, oh, go and get a job, go and do an apprenticeship. And I said to myself, let me just commit. Let me just decide to do this for 3 to 5 years. And worst case scenario, guess what I'm going to do? Can anyone tell me what I'm going to do? Let me just commit 3 to 5 years to this. And worst case scenario, guess what I'm going to go do after if it doesn't work? Now, I ain't got time to study. I'm now 20. I was 21 when I started. I'll be 26. I ain't got time to study. I'm going to go and get a job. I'm going to be with the rest of the 95% of the people anyway. So let me just give 3 to 5 years to this and see where it gets. Literally, someone's worst, like the worst case scenario is what most people are, is normal, right? So what are you going to do about it? Have that decision. And this is why we're getting people to Portugal, because the main reason why we have events is because people make decisions at events. My first ever event in 2020, I went there, I was at the back, I was broke, I had a £20 neck suit, and I had a meal deal. And I had people on stage, 23-year-olds, 24-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 50-year-olds. Everyone on stage, bare minimum, was making 100 grand a month. The highest income earner was 2 million a month, and the lowest income earner that went on stage was 100 grand a month. I made a decision that one day I will be on that stage. One day I will earn that income. I made a decision. Now, a lot of those people that were on stage, they didn't know me. Now they're in my phone book. They didn't know me, but I made a decision at an event. Okay? Next is your desire. How bad do you want it? Like, do you have a burn? Everyone has a beast within them. And I always bring up this story, right? I don't know if she's on a call, but I'm not going to say her name anyway, right? But we went to a team activity and it was really competitive. And she was like, oh, like, I'm not really competitive. Like, I don't really have it in me. Two twos now. Half an hour later, she was going mad. She was all of a sudden the beast come out. She was competitive. She was going ham. I'm saying, okay, well, there you go. You got some sort of desire in you. How bad do you want it? Do you and you can actually build your desire. So a desire is a burn, and you can either run away from a certain burn. So, for example, I want to be in a scenario, right, where, or you may want to be in a scenario where you never got to spend time with your parents when you was growing up because they was always working, right? You never got time to spend with your grandparents or family members because they was working. Not because they didn't want to spend time with you, they was working, right? So now you don't want that to happen for your family. So your desire is, I don't want that scenario. I really don't want that scenario. Or you might have it the other way where you want to create it for your family, where you want to make sure they have it. So your desire is, I want to make sure that one day my kids don't have to worry about money. So you can create your desire, but you need to have something that is burning within you that you cannot sleep. If you ain't having sleepless nights about this business, you ain't about to make no money. If you ain't sleeping, eating, shit in this whole business, you ain't about to make no serious money. There was nights I could not sleep. I had to wake up and watch something. I had to wake up and take down notes. All I could think about was this business. Some people forget to renew their package. It's like, you ain't gonna make no money. You ain't about to make no money. And then the last one is you have that emotion where you now want to resolve. So this is the promise to yourself. I do this or I die. You guys have heard this saying, get rich or you die trying. It is not a joke. When you get to the stage where you realize I have to get rich or I'm gonna die doing this business, that's when things start to happen. That's when God realizes, okay, like they actually want this. Like, because if there's two people, one saying, I want this business, I want financial freedom, and someone else is saying they want financial freedom, and God's seeing both of them do the work, and this person ain't jumping on calls, this person ain't doing the work, and this person thinks they should get to a certain position, you have no idea what someone else has gone through to get to a certain position. And a lot of people in today's day and age have that it's entitlement. Oh, I feel I should be earning this money and I feel I should have this and have that. You have no idea what someone else has done to get to that position, right? God, goals over distractions. What are your goals for 2026, guys? All right. A goal is a distraction for your past. If you don't have goals, you're only going to think about what happened. If you don't know where you're going this year, if you don't have goals for this year, you're talking about what happened last year. Okay. Ego, what it stands for, men on this call. I'm talking to the men on this call. Ladies, you may have it as well, but a lot of men have it more so. Ego, edging God out. Get out of your way. This is not your plan. I didn't plan to be where I was today. And I need you to understand that if you do believe in God, I'm a man of faith, so I'm going to just speak it. If you are praying for something, right? I pray every single day. If you are praying for something, God is not going to give you that something, number one, in the way you thought it would, and number two, in the avenue that you thought it would. Okay? How God will receive the message to you is through circumstances. So you may be in a really crappy circumstance right now. This is what you ask for. Some people, when people lose their job in this business, if someone comes to me and they come to the office and like, Josh, I lost my job. I give them a high five. I say, congratulations, bro. Welcome. You asked for this. You don't like your job. No one put a two in the chat. So if everyone lose their job tomorrow, you don't put a two in the chat, right? So God comes through circumstances. That's a circumstance. You lost your job. Okay, what are you going to do about it? Work the business. People, I'm not going to say me, right? And opportunities. This, okay? The highest human act someone can do, we're all humans on this call, hopefully. The highest human act that you can do as a human is to inspire people. And inspiring people is to make them realize that they can do it as well. That's what inspiring means. Let me look at the actual definition. Inspire. What does it mean? Oh, I'm on flight mode. To fill someone with the urge, confidence, or enthusiasm to do something, typically creative, or to motivate or stimulate them towards higher activity. So if you're on this call and if you are even the slightest motivated, higher activity, you're enthusiastic, I am inspiring you, and that is the highest human act to do, which means you have a higher calling to do because I do as well. Okay? Positive thoughts come from God, negative thoughts come from you know who. The work happens in the mental before the physical. So you become rich, think and grow rich, not work 2, 3 jobs, not do fraud, not do scamming people. Think and grow rich. You have to think a certain way to get rich. The internal work will get you rich. I had negative bank accounts and I still saw 6, 7 figures. So now when we see those figures, I saw it already. Flow state. If you can get to this state 24/7, you are gonna love yourself and love life. Right now, life is amazing. And this is where you give love and you have gratitude. If you have a roof over your head and you have fresh water and you have food and you have 2 parents and you have 2 legs and you have 2 arms and you have a mind and you have 2 eyes, how dare you not be grateful for where you are? If you're not grateful for what you have, you're not going to get more. I promise you. If you're not grateful for what you have right now, you have a job. Yes, we're talking down on jobs, but you better be grateful that you know how many people I've spoken to over the last X amount of years that are still applying for a job. They have zero income. Please understand, if you have a job on this call, be grateful for your job. I know I'm talking down on it, right? I'm just talking more on the opportunity. You need a job at the end of the day. For now, I just feel you deserve better, but if you don't feel that, then it doesn't matter, right? Seek and you will find. You guys were seeking for an opportunity. You're now here. Ask and it is given. Ask for mentorship. Ask questions. Ask for help, and you'll get given it. Knock and it will be open. Go and get your goals, and you'll be able to receive them. Now, this is the last thing I'm going to go through, and probably the most important. And every single one of you in this call, you're going to go through this. Okay? I'm just giving you the heads up. And when I found out about this, I was on a Zoom call. At the time, my mentor, he was earning 750 grand a month, right? He showed me this, and I was in the worst stage of this when he told me. And I couldn't have planned it any better. All right. So this is the process. You know when people say I got to trust the process? This is what you're going to go through. You can't avoid this. Okay? You can't avoid this process. So the first process is stage 1. And I want you guys to let me know in the group in the chat which one you feel you're at, okay? At the end. Stage 1 is uninformed optimism. You're optimistic. You join this business. Oh my days, I'm gonna get rich. I'm gonna make money. I made a bit of money on my demo account. Oh my days, I'm gonna get rich. Oh my days, oh my days, oh my days, oh my days, oh my days. Right? You're uninformed, but you're excited. You're really optimistic. You're really looking forward to what's to come. Stage 2, you over leverage. Shit, I blew my account. Right. This ain't as simple as I thought. You started to build a business. You're getting a few no's. Damn. Things ain't going well, but you're now being told about like the journey. Okay. Stage 3, Valley of Despair. This is where I heard this information when I needed it. And most people quit between stage 1 and stage 3, and this is between 1 to 3 months. And this is why I say to people, if you quit less than 3 months, you're a loser. If you join this business and you quit less than 3 months, you have a loser mentality. Okay? The Valley of Despair, in the Valley of Despair, right, is suffering, bitterness are in the valley of suffering, sorry, despair and bitterness are brewed, but there is also character made. The valley of suffering is the veil of soul making. I'm going to say that one more time. In the valley of suffering, despair and bitterness are brewed, but there are also characters made. The valley of suffering is the veil of soul making. In 2021, I started off the year and I said, this is going to be my year. I'm going to make a lot of money. Boom. The first month, my grandma died. The second month, my granddad died. The third month, I had a court hearing. I had to pay over 15K. Fifth month, I was put on tag. I had multiple months where it couldn't have got any worse. I blew my whole trading account. I paid over 20K in lawyer fees. My both my grandparents are dead. Like it couldn't have got any worse. But this is where I'd been doing so much personal development before that my character was built. You couldn't phase me. This is where most people quit. You might have lost your job. You may be, someone in your family may be ill. You're going through hardship. This is not where you quit. Why would you quit when you're going through hell? Like, why would you quit in hell? At least try and get out. What sense does that make? You're in a storm. Justin Owens, if you ain't heard of it, Justin Owens and the storm. You're in a storm. Imagine you're in a storm, you're driving in a storm, and you get out and you just look around. You got to keep going. Like, why would you not keep going? Why would you stop when you're in hell? Stage 4, things now start to get easier. I've now hit my rank. I now don't go to prison. I've now grieved for my grandparents. I now get to travel the world. I'm now informed optimism. I now know the reality of this business. I now know the reality of what I'm doing here. I'm now getting a bit more excited about it. Things are going well. I get my first rank. I get a sign up. I make a big withdrawal. And then stage 5 is success and fulfillment. You will go over this process over and over again. The same way the charts go up, guys. Trust me, life and your journey will go up and down as well. The only way you'll blow your account in life is if you quit. And you have to realize you came here with nothing. So you started here. You went up. Like, as long as you don't quit, that's when it's now worse off. But if it goes up, it goes down. This is the process. I've been through this process at least 3 times in the last 6 years. But because I'm prepared, I don't complain. I don't quit because I know this is the process. You can't avoid it. If you show me someone that makes multiple 6 figures, 7 and 8 figures that has got there without this, they're probably going to lose it as quick as they got it. I'll be honest with you. All right. So you guys can decide what stage you're at, but when this does happen, you're going to remember this call. And all you need to do is you need to double up with what you was doing. So if you was reading 10 pages a day, you was listening to half an hour bit of audio, you was coming to events, you was learning, you was growing, and now you're in the valley of despair, make sure you now read 20 pages, you listen to no music, you double up because you're just getting tested. How dare you think that God can give you everything and you're not going to get tested by the other side? Like, why do you think you're that entitled to think you can go and get all this money and not face some sort of consequence? It's impossible. And this might scare people, but I'm just being honest. Maybe I'm too honest, but I'm just letting you lot know. I'm letting you know what it takes to get to certain levels. And people won't tell you this because they want you to keep paying a subscription or they want you to keep paying whatever it is. It doesn't phase me, guys. I'm just letting you know. You're doing this for you. You didn't join for me. You guys don't know me. You did this for your reason why. It might be your kid. Well, I don't know your reason why you're doing this. I've had people join the business and say, Josh, look, my mom's got stage 4 cancer. I need to make money. You you didn't join because of me. You joined because you need to make money for your mom and your last name, right? So things you need to know to finish off, right? I'm going to finish up now, guys, all right? Portugal Convention. Anyone working with me personally, and I've told you this before, if you're working with me personally and you are not in Portugal, it's going to be very difficult for me to pick up the phone after, especially if you're making a decision. If you financially can't afford it, that's still not an excuse because you have a car, you have a PlayStation, you have a TV, you have a wardrobe. Sell it. You need this. But if you're choosing not to come to a convention, you're basically saying, Josh, I'm not here for the long run and I'm not serious about my situation just yet. I'm serious about my situation now. And we've been building this for the last 6 years. So this is long term. We're not trying to get rich, we're trying to create wealth. A lot of people are rich, not many people are wealthy. Okay? The office is open from 3 p.m. onwards. Make sure you ask before arrival, but every single one of you, no matter where you are around the UK, we have even people in the office now from Sweden. Wherever you are around the world, you can come to the office. Environment, a lot of people underestimate environment. You underestimate it. And if you've never put yourself in an environment that is uncomfortable or new, you're never going to know. And you're never going to have certain things. But we're in the second quarter, guys. We've now started April. The first 3 months, I don't know where they've gone. Genuinely, I don't know where January, February, and March went. But we're now in April and we go to Portugal next Friday. You have 8 months left of the year, guys. If you've already butchered the first quarter, don't worry. We've got 3 more quarters to go. But make sure you tap in after this call. This is not motivation. I'm not here to motivate you guys. I'm here to wake up one person to realize I need to do better. I need to tap in. I need to get around these guys. I need to jump on more Zoom calls. So I'm going to leave it to you guys. All right. So with that being said, that is it from me. Where is the office? The office is in West London, right? We try to was this not being recorded? Oh, I was about to